how's it going, everybody? It is Josh Thomas here from TheBitBlock, and today we're going to do a discussion for, well, an obvious topic. Nintendo just had an ARMS Direct, which also had a bonus trailer for Splatoon 2. I am, of course, joined by my good buddy, RogersBase.
What's going on, everybody? I am happy to talk about the new best waifu.
There are so many waifus in ARMS.
Oh, so many.
It's ridiculous. I don't know
Except
what Nintendo's
for Mechanica.
doing.
I don't know who's Team Mechanica.
Yeah, I actually mentioned that in my reaction. I'm just like, this is the least interesting character in the whole game for me. I don't hate her.
I've seen a lot of people say they really, really like her. And I'm
okay.
Like, nah, you're wrong.
I just find her to be like the least interesting for some reason. I don't know. I didn't realize she was a kid, by the way, at first.
Which also means she should be taken out of the running for waifu material.
That's true.
That goes without saying.
So, I mean, let's just get into it. Let's just have a nice, casual, random chit-chat about it.
Sure.
I think, do you want to start with Splatoon 2 or ARMS? Because obviously I think there's a lot more to talk about with ARMS, maybe.
Yeah, let's actually start with Splatoon. What do you want to sort of touch on?
I'm just going to say it, because I'm not a man who can censor himself at all. This game bores me, and it's just doing the same stuff the first one did, so far.
Okay, I was going to say, it doesn't bore me, but I can understand the sentiment.
Okay.
Just because based on the trailer, there was a lot of like really similar looking stuff. However, I think the character designs for those new bosses looks really cool. I love the direction they're going in with the story, because to me, it seems really obvious that Callie has somehow been corrupted by the Octolings, and that she's basically going to be the final boss of the story mode in Splatoon 2, which I think is awesome, because it proves that I chose the right waifu in Marie. And I don't know, I think it was really funny, that little opening bit where Marie was like, oh, you know who I am. I see you're a little starstruck. I'm one of the Squid Sisters. And there was that great comedic bit moment where there's just nothing. There's no sound effect. There's no reaction from the Inkling. And she's like, come on. I like it. I like that a lot. I like the new Inkopolis Square looking area. Overall, I mean, I like the look of the game. I'm ready for more Splatoon. But I definitely think both of us agree that ARMS is more exciting at this point. Because, I mean, ARMS is a new IP. And we've already seen a lot of what the original Splatoon had to offer. And this one seems to be offering a lot of the same, which isn't a bad thing, because the first game was great. So if we get more of the same, that's awesome. And obviously Splatoon is going to be a staple for the Switch moving forward. And again, I think the single player has a lot of potential to be really cool. And I do like the sort of direction they're taking the story. But yeah, man, I just like, after watching this Direct, I thought I was going to be more excited for the Splatoon trailer at the ending than I was, but the ARMS stuff really blew me away. I think there's so much in this Direct that really got me hyped for ARMS, and that surprises me and also excites me. That sort of, they're going in the same direction they did with Splatoon with ARMS. They're really pushing it as a new IP. They're doing that global test fire thing. It's rubbing me in all the right ways.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that I think a lot of the enemy designs were actually really cool. I totally agree with that. I think the music sounded really good. I do like this idea. I mean, because I actually think the Squid Sisters are garbage. I've said that many times, but I do think like this could potentially make them interesting. I didn't really like their characters. I didn't get how they were like this big phenomenon, and like so many people are like, the Squids. I thought they were annoying. I thought they were just dumb. But this could make it interesting that like one of them's like, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna be bad now or whatever. That could be cool. But I will say, here's where my problems with this game lie.
Okay.
Splatoon is one of the most interesting Nintendo games for me in the sense that I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds. I love what they've done. I love what they've built. But I feel that they're not really taking the creativity and putting it into the gameplay. I feel that when you play Splatoon, it gets old fast because essentially you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's kind of just a game about shooting the ground with ink. That's it.
I mean, shooter games are games about shooting
Yeah,
things.
but I mean-
I think if you're not a fan of the genre,
No, but I am.
I totally understand.
But I am, though. See,
You're a fan of shooters?
I am. Yeah, well, like GoldenEye 007 is a game that myself and
Okay.
friends still play to this day. Like when we get
But
together.
like you don't play Overwatch, do you?
No, but I think I would enjoy Overwatch probably more than Splatoon. And I'll tell you why. I think in a traditional shooter, there's time to breathe. There's time to kind of plan and strategize and just stop for a moment. You're not constantly firing. In Splatoon, you're disciplined if you're not constantly firing. You know, at the end of the game, it's all about how much ink did your team put on the ground in the end, right? And so if you're not constantly firing, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to win. You got to keep firing. Whereas in like GoldenEye 007, you get to you get to sneak around corners, you get to kind of see what everybody's doing, you get to plan, you get to explore the level more, you don't constantly fire. And I feel like Splatoon would really benefit from having some kind of mode that's like, all right, you know what? It's not just about firing nonstop. Like I remember one of the things I was so excited about when I first saw Splatoon is like, oh, you can hide in the ink and sneak around in the ink and wait for somebody to come by you and stuff. And then when I played it, I'm like, oh, you can't really do that at all because if you stay in the ink too long, you're not doing anything. You're just wasting time.
So you don't. I think you've just been playing with the wrong people then, because you don't necessarily need to always be.
Well, I play online.
Ink, like, oh well, yeah, okay. If you play online, then you kind of have to
with randomos.
Like, yeah, with randos. But if you play with friends or you have a squad, like for me, I have the Squid Squad on Facebook where I just like hit up them and I'm like, hey, who wants to join a team right now? And then everyone sort of designates like what role they want to play. I think for you, you sound like a Charger character. It sounds like you would want to be a Charger character or like the dualies kind of character, someone who's running around and actually like shooting people as opposed to somebody who's covering the ground. Because I mean, there's a lot of people out there who play roller. And so even though you're like playing online with randos and so you feel obligated to like cover the ground in ink, if you know what you're good at and you stick to that and your teammates see that you're good at it, I think you can continue to play the game however you want to play the game and your teammates will work around you.
So one of the issues though is that the game doesn't really acknowledge that, and it does show you how many like defeats you had and stuff. But it doesn't put that towards your score. Like, I could have 20 kills in a round, but we could still lose, and the game isn't going to congratulate me in any way. In fact, it'll punish me. It'll lower my score or whatever. So I really think that it would have been great to see them say, all right, you know what? Let's take the kills, and then at the end of a round, we'll take those kills, and they'll add it up as ink. They'll actually equal ink in the end. To where it's like, oh, you guys put the most on the ground, but man, they had way more kills, so they're getting some bonus ink here, and we'll see what that does. I understand that could potentially annoy people. It's kind of like the bonus stars in Mario Party in a way.
It'd be a good mode, though.
Right, like as a mode.
It'd be a really fun mode, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I would like to see them do, and this is just, I mean, this isn't really a flaw of the game. This is just so specific, maybe nitpicky, but like, it's kind of indicative of what I would have liked to see in the sequel, is like, why can't we pick up weapons or change them as we're playing? Like, what if I start and I'm like, I want to be the Charger, and then I'm like, you know what, it's not really working for me. I'm going to switch to the roller in the middle of the match. That's something you traditionally can do in a lot of shooters. Maybe not like Overwatch, but there are shooters where you can do that.
Well, actually, that's the whole point of Overwatch. You can change your hero whenever you want.
Oh, you can? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. There you go. Okay. That just helps my point. So I do feel like, I don't know, I love Splatoon. Do not get me wrong. I don't want to hear anybody saying I hate this game, but it's just, I want it to be better. And I guess maybe I'm just being self-centered because I want it to be better in a way that I would prefer. But I just think this is something that could really be so much more than it seems to be. But then again, we haven't seen all of Splatoon 2. And so we'll see what happens. I'm more than open to changing my mind. But as of right now, I'm just sort of bored with Splatoon 2 based on how similar it is to the first game. It's just kind of Splatoon plus to me.
Yeah, I think the formula is not going to change for a very long time, just due to the fact that now like Splatoon is getting such a big esports push from them. And they really want to make it like a big competitive game. I mean, they've had those tournaments in Japan. What are they called? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Where they have those big like stadium tournaments in Japan for Splatoon. And they've had like invitationals at E3 and all these other events. So they are pushing it as like a tournament game. And so I don't think they're really going to change the formula much, which is why I was sort of excited by some of the stuff they showed in the single player trailer. Because to me, that's where the gameplay variety came in. And like one thing I didn't really like about the single player in Splatoon, I actually think the single player campaign in the original game was really good. But it felt very Mario Galaxy to me.
Yeah, it did.
In which you have these floating islands and you sort of jump onto this little pad and it shoots you off to another pad. It was basically the star pads in Galaxy. And there is a little bit of that you could see in this trailer.
I think it seemed mostly like that.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of it where even though you're on like these little designated islands, it feels more natural and part of the environment. Like there's one area in the trailer where you could see they're like in a factory area and there's like a floor. Another one, you're on like this cool tropical beach island area and you're in the water and you're on top of these, I don't know, they look like floating rafts or floating buoys or something. It looks like a lot of fun, and it looks like they're really taking a lot of risks with the environments in single player this time around, which is something I'm really excited about. And the bosses I think just look awesome.
The big fat unicycle guy.
Well, the toaster. They
had little jelly
What's
on
up
their
with
face.
That toaster.
Yeah. So that stuff I love. I totally am so in love with that. I think really what I want is I want that craziness from the single player to leak into the multiplayer. And we saw a little bit of that with like we have the zip lines in the towers level. We saw that like originally, remember?
Yeah.
But it's like it's weird to me because we played the test fire and we didn't see any of that kind of stuff in the 2 new levels. So it's like, is that what they're going to do for retro levels? It's going to be like, yeah, this is a retro level, but we added some crazy stuff to it. And in that case, it's like, man, why wouldn't you just make that a standard? And the same argument would go for like the dodging move. Like, why do I have to use a certain weapon to be able to dodge? Why can't I just dodge with any of them? Like, that would have made it feel more fresh, and for a game that always says stay fresh.
I could definitely see your side of the argument, but at the same time I could also see the side of the argument where it's like it's a team-based squad game and you're really not supposed to play by yourself. Like, because that's what it is, because you have to play with the squad, like, you need to sort of know what you're good at, what your loadout is, what you like to play. Like, if you like dodging and you like killing people, like, the dualies are for you. And you have to find people who you want to play the game with who will support you by using the other weapons. And like, I do think your complaints are totally valid in the fact that, like, you sort of want something different than what the game is. But at the same time, like, the game is set up to be a certain way, and it's been working really well that way for a while. And so I don't really think they need to change the formula, but I don't think it would hurt to add, like, maybe an additional multiplayer mode that would then appeal to you. And they could very well do that, because I'm sure we're probably still going to see a little bit of this game at E3.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm mostly. That's what I'm kind of holding out for at this point. Like different modes that are not.
I could see you playing a lot more Salmon Run than the actual game.
You know what? I totally love Salmon Run. I want to see more stuff like Salmon Run.
Yeah.
It seems quirky and crazy. You know what? I gotta say though, because like you said earlier, this is such a like team-based game. I'm really hoping they do have some sort of voice chat in this. I get it. We can just use Skype or Discord. I totally understand. Those are like pretty easy solutions. But it just seems weird to have like a game in the year 2017 that is like a shooter that they're trying to like really push as this big thing, and it's such a co-op game.
They did say all the way back in the reveal for the Switch, like not the reveal, but like the event where they talked about everything that's going on with it back in January. They mentioned that voice chat is coming to this game. And that voice chat's going to be a standard feature for the multiplayer games coming to Switch. But the only thing is they haven't launched the online features yet. Like right now, everything's for free online. Once they feature the paid online, like you're going to have voice chat. That's something that will for sure happen. That'll be available via that app that's on your phone. So
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that'd be pretty much an improvement. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Just to end the Splatoon 2 thing, I just say that like I'm not totally down on it, but I'm not excited by it, and I just. I hope that there are some modes that really get wacky and really embrace the craziness that we see in the single player. And I'd like for it to kind of, I don't know, get away from the mold that they created for Splatoon 1, like even the plaza is just like a less colorful version of the original plaza. So it's a more...
Oh, I was going to make the argument that I actually think this game is a lot more colorful.
Oh my God. Well,
I love the look of this game. I like
maybe the single player, but not the plaza. The plaza looks really brown and gray compared to the original one. And it's in shadow.
I gotta go back and
really
look at it.
You should look at it. And it's also, there's a shadow casted in most of it, which from a design perspective is just bad. Like, why is there a shadow? Like, the shadow from the buildings on one side are just casting the whole
thing. Well, it probably
in
changes over the time of day. Don't you think the shadows probably
every time we've seen it, it's been in shadow. That's one of the things that I've noticed from a design perspective.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, every time they've shown it, it's been in it. So maybe you're right. But, I mean, this is a minor thing I'm complaining about.
Yeah,
but still,
of course.
It's just like, I kind of... And then, like, in order to get into the single player, you go into the great.
And I don't think this is a bad thing. But I just think this is how you are. I just think you really like the style of Splatoon, but you don't necessarily like the core gameplay.
Right.
Which is totally fine. Like
I like it for a month.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to like every single franchise, And if you acknowledge that you like certain things about it, I think that should be enough for most Nintendo fans. Like for me, I love the gameplay. I never got old of the original Splatoon. Meanwhile, like Mario Kart, except for Deluxe, I always got sick of Mario Kart. Like, I've always found myself getting sick of Mario Kart after a couple months. Deluxe is the one that, like, for whatever reason, I haven't been sick of yet. Maybe it's because it's relatively new.
We have yet to play it, by the way. I want to point that out.
Yeah, but Mario Kart, like, I've never, like, battle mode. Like, I know you've always loved battle mode and stuff. And to me, that's not, like, something that I ever find myself going back to play. So I think it all just comes down to personal preference,
Yeah, I mean, me, it's going to come down to the modes. Give me some interesting modes. I hated most of the modes in the original Splatoon. I thought they were just, I don't know, they weren't fun. So Salmon Rush or whatever seems cool.
If you're looking for modes, a game chock full of wacky modes,
let's talk about the new Splatoon.
Is for you.
The new king of new Nintendo IPs. is ARMS. I'm declaring it right now.
All right.
I love this game. This direct was so
Yes.
unbelievably effective for me. It was just it was like so many cool things, one right after the other. It's really delivering on content, which is one of the things a lot of people were worried about, myself included. We're kind of like, we'll probably get some basic modes. But I was really hopeful that we would get some sort of like really cool extra modes that were clever and stuff. And we definitely are. The characters are so full of character, and seems like there's a nice variety. Roger, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this has more content so far than Street Fighter V, so there you go.
So the new characters, how many new characters did they show us in this? 2?
3. So we saw Kid Cobra,
Yeah.
Twintel, and Bark and Bite. And that rounds out the roster. So now we have 10 characters on the roster. I'm assuming there's going to be one unlockable, which is the final boss character. And then we've got all the different arms combinations that we saw. Mm-hmm. And I actually think that's a really good way to go about fleshing out the roster as opposed to just like making a bunch of random different characters. Because I think like you basically find your favorite character out of the 10 and then adjust it with whatever arms you find that you like based on playing the other 10, you know?
Yeah. I think there are more than 10 fighters in this game, though, even at launch.
I don't think so. Not the way it sounded to me.
But I noticed, I watched your reaction, and I was really annoyed with you, because you looked away every time they showed a character. There's this one character, there's this guy who they showed, and you were looking away every time they showed him, but he's a new character that you're fighting against. So he would make 11.
That's literally what I just said, Josh.
What'd you just say? Wait, no, what did you just say?
That's literally what I just said.
Wait, what did you just say?
We're going to have 10 characters and one unlockable final fighter.
I
literally just said that.
I guess I don't listen to you half the way.
Oh my God, Josh.
So, okay, now you can be annoyed with me. Okay.
Oh, God.
But wait, there's also in the trailer, though, and you did notice this guy, there was some weird guy with, like, octopus. He had, like, many arms on his head.
That's the same guy, Josh.
Is it the same guy?
Yes.
No.
That's the final. That's what I assume is the final boss of whatever arcade mode is going to be. Like the Akuma character. Absolutely.
But he didn't have that in his other form.
That was in Shadow.
No, they showed the other guy pretty good. Like, they showed the mysterious guy pretty well, and then they showed the weird octopus-looking guy.
No, the octopus-looking guy is the same dude, man.
Then he transforms quite a bit.
They said they're going to add new fighters later on, but it's going to launch with 10, and then the new fighters are going to be added like Overwatch style to the game. Well, Splatoon style, too. That's how they added content to Splatoon. It was all free DLC.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're right. There are going to be more fighters, but they're not going to be at launch. Like, the launch 10 are these 10.
I'm okay with 10 at launch, to be honest with you.
Me too.
It could be more, of course. I do feel like there needs to be more, but they are going to add more. I'm not a big fan of that. I understand it works for a lot of people, but for me, I'm just like, I spent the $60 on this game. Just give me the full game. Why do I have to, like, get this stuff spoon-fed to me every month?
I think it's probably because it's not done being developed.
Yeah. A lot of people seem to like that, though, huh? I mean, Overwatch does that, and people go crazy about it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I like that. Huh. I personally like that. Because I like having, I don't know, I like having new reasons to go back to my favorite games. Like, that's the reason I'm still playing Overwatch, is because they keep adding new content. Otherwise, I wouldn't still be playing Overwatch. If they gave me everything at launch and they had all those heroes, like, even though I like the core game, I would not be playing it as much as I am. Like, with that game, they basically say, okay, 1 month you're going to get a new character, 1 month you're going to get a new stage, 1 month you're going to get a new, I don't know, a new, like, holiday mode or something. And they do that all the time. And I that's, like, the direction they're going with ARMS. They're going to give you a new hero. A new fighter. They're going to give you a new mode. They're going to give you a new stage to play on. And if that's sort of how they drip feed it out, I like that. I personally genuinely really like that. I mentioned that that's something I sort of want for Mario Kart, too. That's something I want for Smash Brothers. That's something I want for all these multiplayer games from here on out. Because I think we're past the point where we need to buy multiple versions and sequels of a game. I like buying one game and then getting more content after the game is initially released. I think you're looking at it from the perspective like this is content that was cut to then hold off to give to you later, when that's not the case. This is very clearly content that's being developed for the future that is not ready for launch. And that they figured that this is enough content to give you at launch so you can at least enjoy the game for a while until the next stuff is ready.
Well, they did do that for Splatoon 2, though. Or, I mean, the original Splatoon.
The original Splatoon, yeah, but that's like one exception. That's not like the norm in the industry where people do that anymore. Like, that is something they absolutely did for Splatoon, where they held off stuff because, like, not all the maps were there that we very clearly saw in the original trailers. But for this, that's absolutely the case.
There was content on disc that was locked on the original Splatoon.
That's what I just said.
So you did not just say it in that way.
I literally well, okay, not in that way, but I mean, come on, man.
No, I don't really love that, to be honest with you. I don't like that way of distributing it. There's a game that I think did it absolutely perfectly, and it's a game that I think was forged by gods, and it's called Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 launched as a full game, and then I don't know how long it was, but it was, just the perfect amount of time later, they said, hey, got a bunch of cool DLC that you can buy. It's pretty cheap, it's reasonably priced, and it's not just one little tiny character. It's a whole bunch of challenge maps, it's a whole bunch of this, whole bunch of that. That's the way I prefer it. I kind of would prefer to just like get a whole bunch of content at once as opposed to a little piece. It's like if you were to sit down, it's like if you were hungry, Roger, and you went to a restaurant and they're like, okay, Mr. RogersBase, I'm going to bring you one noodle and half of a meatball.
Wow, this goes to show how often you eat gourmet food, Josh, because that is absolutely how it works when you go to a gourmet restaurant.
No. Oh, they give you one noodle?
Course. But they give you one tiny little thing, and then they say, okay, we'll bring you the next course in like 10 minutes.
Yep, and I'd be like, I'd say, you get back out here, you give me all my food right now.
And you go through over and over again. I know, but that's literally you're making an analogy that literally works against what you're saying.
No, because I said one noodle. I didn't say a full entree. I said one noodle and half of a meatball.
Okay. But at the same, some gourmet places you do get one noodle and one meatball. But...
Shut up!
No, it's true. It's true. You get like one little piece. You do. No, I also think you sort of caught yourself in your own argument just now, where you talked about Pikmin, because Pikmin, they did do that.
God game.
Well, listen, they did do that, and they did reveal all that. But remember, Josh, you paid for Pikmin DLC.
Yeah, I loved it.
You're not paying for ARMS DLC. You're not paying for Splatoon DLC. This is stuff they're giving you for free.
Well, it's suspicious that they're giving it to me for free, though, because Nintendo is not a generous company by any means, and
but
they're also...
I feel like you don't play enough esports, because this is
I don't play any esports. I have no interest in esports.
I know, but like with Street Fighter, with Street Fighter, Overwatch, all these competitive games, like this is how it works now. It's like they're constantly balancing the game, and so in order to adjust the balance of a competitive game, they add new content.
How much is Overwatch?
Like $50, I think.
And how many characters have they added? Like, how much did they start with?
They launched exactly a year ago, and they've added since that 3 characters, I think 3 stages, and they've had holiday modes for the months in between that were holidays that didn't have any new modes or new stages or new characters.
And that's all free?
All free.
How many characters were there at launch?
I don't know the exact number, but I think it was like... I honestly don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it was like 20-something.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so that's a lot more than ARMS was.
Yeah. But I think like every character is a very specific thing in Overwatch, whereas ARMS, like the whole thing is you have to adjust, what arms you want to use, and sort of like, yeah, I guess you're right.
Finally, I got a point.
I was gonna play devil's advocate. I'm not going to.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's just
to be fair, at the original BlizzCon announcement of Overwatch, there were only 12 characters.
That's still 2 more than ARMS?
Yeah, but I think it was. Yeah, that's true. But I think it expanded to like 20-something later on.
But actually, there's 2 secret characters, so ARMS has 2 as well.
Okay.
I'm going to just say that.
I'm pretty sure, though, the guy you're talking about who looks like Captain Falcon from behind with the black arms and the skull is the octopus guy.
Can I just say how proud I am of you for being able to recognize Captain Falcon from behind?
Well, that's what it seemed like, did it not?
Yeah,
did that guy not seem like Captain Falcon?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But you recognize you associate Captain Falcon with his butt, which makes sense. I mean, I'm not judging.
And the boots too.
Yeah, the boots. No, I don't know. I mean, I like a big lump of content at once instead of just one thing. But I'm not against it. It's just not the ideal for me personally. But I get that a lot of people enjoy that.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger, let's talk about them damn sexy other modes.
What other mode you want to talk about?
Well, there's volleyball, which looks really cool. I was very excited to see that.
Fun.
And then
I like hoops.
Hoops, you get to slam dunk your opponent instead of a ball. That is amazing. That seems like it's the type of thing that is really degrading and will get your friends really annoyed at you. And that's just what I want.
absolutely why I like that mode.
Do you get points for like score? I imagine you get points, right? It's not based on like health.
No, I think you get points. I think they even showed that in it. Yeah, I think you get points.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The volleyball thing, it's a bomb and it explodes when it lands on your side, right?
I think that's the case.
Yeah, and I like how
When,
they're
when
like,
it lands on your opponent's side. Yeah, you don't want it to land
yeah,
on your
yeah,
side.
you right, yeah. But I think it's cute. They're like, yeah, and you can even reach over the net, and that's totally cool.
Yeah, it's because you got long arms.
So those were great. There's also is this a mode where you get items?
I think it's a standalone mode. It looks like the 1v1 fights that we saw earlier, but yeah, it looks like there's like a water bottle item and some other little weird items they threw in there. It looks fun though. I said in my live reaction, like, oh my god, Josh is going to love this mode with items in it.
Oh, I do. I do. I love me fighting games with items. That's not a very common thing, is it?
Not other than Smash Brothers, no.
Right.
Not really.
Right. Which is, listen, I'm happy Arms is getting on the. It seems very similar to Smash Brothers to me in many ways, like a lot of the modes and.
I did a whole video about this last week. I thoroughly believe the reason we haven't seen Smash for Switch yet is due to the fact that ARMS exists and that it's launching in June. I think they wanted to make sure that this gets the Smash Brothers audience, and then this comes out literally E3 week. I 100% believe during E3 we're going to get the announcement of Smash on Switch, and then all those people who are excited for Smash on Switch and have now been part of the hype train for ARMS this whole time, who are now totally on board, are going to go out and buy their Switches in June, play ARMS until Smash for Switch comes out. I think that was a totally conscious decision on their part because, especially like with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being as successful as it is, and like them talking about bringing over other Wii U ports, it just seems like a natural fit that of course they're going to bring over Smash Brothers, and it'll probably have all the content from like the 3DS version or whatever, and then plus the Wii U version, plus some new content. But I do think they're holding off specifically because of ARMS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool too because it's very different than Smash Brothers, but at the same time, it has a lot of the qualities that you would want if you like Smash Brothers.
I'm going to make a weird prediction right now.
Okay.
They're having the open invitational at E3 for ARMS.
Yeah.
I think during the the opening thing of E3 for Nintendo, where they have like, it's not a direct, but it's like their presentation or whatever.
Yeah, the showcase.
And it's not live, it's like the showcase, thank you. And they've talked specifically that it's only going to be Switch stuff in that showcase. Uh-huh. I think it's going to announce during that showcase the Smash Brothers game, and we'll probably see Inkling and Ice Climbers. And then my prediction is that just like what they did for the Wii U announcement for Smash Brothers, where they showed off 2 and then showed off a third character live on stage at E3, I think they're going to show off Inkling and Ice Climbers during the announcement trailer on the showcase. And then I think at the end of the ARMS Open Invitational, we're going to see a little shing, one more thing, and you're going to see an ARMS character pop up. That's my bold prediction for what's going to happen during E3.
I imagine it would be Ribbon Girl and Springman.
Springman. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, it's funny because I remember when Smash 4 came out, I think maybe you and me were talking about this, where we're like, man, Nintendo needs some new characters so that they can add them to Smash Brothers because they're kind of running a little bit low on like the big main characters. So
and now look at all these wonderful characters.
It seems like they're creating characters just for Smash.
Splatoon characters, snipper clips. Look at this.
There you go. You know what? Another thing that I thought was really cool about the game is you get like a currency and then you use that to upgrade and buy new arms. I thought that was pretty cool.
I like that a lot too. I also love, both in the Splatoon trailer and in this trailer, the music. Mm-hmm. The music in ARMS is so good, and I love that everybody has their own theme that played during the little showcase of all the characters. Ribbon Girl's theme is awesome.
Her music. Yeah, she's like a pop star.
Yeah.
I actually said I prefer her greatly over Callie and Marie.
I think everybody does. I think if you're a human being, you naturally should prefer another human being over squids.
There's going to be some angry comments about this.
Nobody is going to be angry about that.
Do you want to know who my main waifu is?
I'm kind of scared.
Biff.
Okay. I kind of knew that that was not going to be fun. That wasn't going to be fun for me.
So listen, speaking of waifus though, what's the one that I really like now because she's got a nice shiny butt?
What is her name? Twintel.
Twintel? I should probably learn that because I'm going to be marrying her.
She also is the only one with normal proportions because she's not using her arms, she's using her hair.
Yeah, that's really strange. I wonder if there will be any more characters. Are there any characters right now? What does Helix use? He uses his arms, right? Yeah.
Helix is my main, for sure.
Okay.
I think everybody who mains Game & Watch in Smash Brothers is going to main Helix, because he is clearly the troll character. Where you can just dodge every shot and jiggle around and be like, blue, you know?
I wonder if there's taunting in this game. I really hope there is.
I hope so. I hope so.
Before I forget, well, one of the things we got to do here is we're going to do our top 3 mains. Obviously, we haven't played it yet, but we'll just guess.
Yeah.
And the 3 that we really don't care for. And then we're also, before we do that, I do want to point out, it's really cool how they let you change the colors. Like you can swap colors of the characters. Again, very Smash Brothers reminiscent.
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty cool. Like there was a pink Helix. I was like, what? So yeah, I hope there's a white Helix. Anyways, moving on. Roger.
That would be actually cool looking.
It would be a little disturbing as well.
No, if he was white Helix, but then he had black and red for the hair, that would actually look really cool. White, black, and red, man. I'm down.
Oh, by the way, I agree with you that the poppers or whatever they're called are some of the coolest arms. I really love those as well.
Oh yeah,
Fire.
I like the slapping arms actually. From what I played at the
Slap-O-Mander?
preview events, the Slap-O-Mander arms are great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I love that too. Like, it's really cool how it's not even like, oh, this character has these arms and blah, blah, blah. It was such a genius idea to be like, oh, no, you swap the arms and you can use 2 different kinds and all that. That's great. I love it.
Yeah, it seems like from the start with the standard loadouts of all the characters, you have access to most of the arm types. And then it's just over time when you unlock more arms, you basically can learn through playing those other characters what type of arms you like. And then once you actually learn what arms you like and, know how to customize them, then you can actually put those arms on a different character than the one that you were learning on. So I actually do think that's a great way to get people to play all the characters and then also figure out their favorite loadouts.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so speaking of the characters, Roger.
Yeah.
Let's pick our top 3s, our top 3 mains.
Oh man, that's really difficult.
I'm gonna
like I
let
said,
you start.
Helix is my number 1. I got to go with Helix, man. I think he's great. And Ribbon Girl's definitely number 2. I've always liked Ribbon Girl. Nothing's changing about that. And I am just, man, I'm torn. I'm torn between 2 right now. I'm torn between Twintel, that new, actress girl with the booty.
Yeah.
I really like her. But I also really love Min Min. I love Min Min. With the ramen hair, I love Min Min. So I'm going to say number 1 is Helix, number 2 is Ribbon Girl, and number 3 is a tie.
Can't do a tie. I'm not allowing it.
I have to because I haven't played the game yet. I don't care.
I'm not allowing this.
I'm not answering the question. I'm not picking between them. I'm not.
So you're saying Min Min. Roger.
I'm not picking whatever, man. It's fine.
What a win! Why won't you pick your third one?
You know what? Bullying's not okay, man. I know we're in a post-Trump world, but don't bully me, man.
I love to bully, so pick your third. You know what? We're gonna pick the crap. We're gonna pick the Mummy for you as your third, then.
Okay. No. Okay. Fine. I'll pick. All right. Fine. I'll pick. No, actually, here, instead of having me pick one thing I am gonna do, I'll give you my 3 least favorite.
Okay.
That's pretty easy.
Okay. Do your 3 least favorite.
I don't like Mechanica.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Springman. And I don't really, I'm not really a fan of Kid Cobra either. I think he looks cool, but of the other characters in the cast, I think I just like everybody else more.
Hey, the footage they were showing of King Cobra, Kid Cobra, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was on like a floating thing. Is that specific to the stage? That's not something he has, because the other characters were on it.
I think that's something he has, right? Doesn't he like skate around on his snake?
But there were times when he wasn't on it. And
then I don't know.
I'm fairly certain that I saw the other characters on it too in that ring. So that might be something with that ring because it looked like a skate park or something.
Yeah, maybe it is ring specific where you jump on like those weird shifting platform things.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That's what you fight on. That would be cool, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so those are your picks. I'm
gonna say a tie for the number 3 on that one too.
Oh my god.
I think it's a tie between Kid Cobra and the Mummy. Again, I need to like play them more to know, but I know the 2. It's just easier for me to get my top 2. My top 2 are Helix and Ribbon Girl. My bottom 2 are Mechanica and Springman.
I would like the Mummy a lot more if he was skinny. I feel like a big Mummy is weird. Like
That's why I like him.
You like the Mummy because he's big?
Yeah, he's like the burly character. Yeah,
but
man,
you just
cool.
said you didn't like him. You put him in your bottom 3.
No, but I mean, there's only 10 characters. I don't hate anybody in the cast.
No, I don't either. But I feel like a mummy is supposed to be like deteriorating and like all scrawny. Like you make him fat, and it's like, what? How's he dead?
Oh.
Did he recently die? In which case, I'm
They're out
sad
here
for him.
Dude, I don't know. They're out here breaking gender norms, man. That's all.
Out here breaking death norms. All right, my top three. I'm not going to do ties because I don't need to.
Whatever.
My number one is going to be the big booty sister. She just made it to my number one.
She's number one.
She's number one.
Twintel is your number one. Wow. Okay.
I mean, that's number one for me. Number two, believe it or not, Springman. I love his design. Maybe he's a bit default, but Mario's pretty default as well, and I love him. And then number three, I'm going to go with Helix because I love a good troll character. I'm the Duck Hunt dog. I am Mr. Game & Watch. I love those troll characters. So those are my top three.
I'm happy that Helix was safely in both of our top threes.
Oh, yeah. Helix is pretty fantastic.
He's great, man. I love him. He's just a little troll.
I might even swap him with Springman, actually. Then my bottom three, going to be the Mechanica girl.
Yep.
And the new lizard thing. I don't remember its name.
King Cobra?
There you go. I actually disagree with you. I think it's his design that kind of bores me. He doesn't look as distinguished in his design as others. Like, he's not as...
Well, he has two different colored eyes and a helmet, and that's pretty much all that differentiates him.
Yeah, he seems like just one solid color or something on his back. He just didn't look as well designed. And then I would probably go with... I'd probably go with Min Min in one of my bottoms, actually.
What? More than the Mummy?
Yeah, because the Mummy's Halloween, and he's got a Halloween stage, so
Okay.
it might be cheating because I'm giving him points for being, like a cool stage.
I think you just don't like anime stuff, and so anything that seems remotely
I don't hate. Well, no,
I gotta choose between the ninja and the ramen girl. Which
no, I
one
think
do
the ninja.
like less?
The ninja's cool. I like the ninja. I actually I like them all, just like you. I totally agree. There aren't bad characters in this game, but yeah.
One that we didn't mention, neither of us mentioned this person in our top three or our bottom three, and I genuinely really like this character, and I just want to highlight him because he was revealed today. Bark and Bite.
Oh, yeah.
The weird police robot with the dog. I really like him.
That's pretty amazing, too. Yeah, I was thinking about... he seems like... I'm really curious if I'm going to like playing as him. I love the concept of him, but I'm really curious if I'm going to like it.
I mean, do you like playing Ice Climbers in Smash Brothers?
Ice Climbers were in Smash Brothers? What? That's that... Yeah, they should bring them back. Sometimes. Sometimes I would.
Then that's your answer for Bark and Bite. Sometimes.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll take it. That's their name, Bark and Bite.
That's their name.
I like
Bite,
it.
like a data bite, and bark. I don't know how they spell bark.
Like a dog.
Like a dog, probably, yeah.
Okay. Roger, do you have any other thoughts on ARMS or Splatoon 2?
I think the game is going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to play the Test Punch. I think it's very smart of them that they're doing that.
Yeah, I love the name Test Punch, too. That's kind of cute.
I wonder if they're going to do this for all their multiplayer games going forward. Before they... what will they call it for Smash Brothers? The Smash Brothers Global what? The Test Smash?
Test
or the
Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a thing for them from here on out. I think they realize that's a really good way to get people interested in your multiplayer games. And
do they need it for Smash Brothers, though? Because we all kind of know that's an amazing franchise.
I mean, they had a demo for 3DS. Remember?
Oh, yeah, they did. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, okay. I'm down with that. When do you know offhand when the next, when the first Test Punch is?
I think it's
this month
of May. I think it's 26th or 27th.
Okay, that's cool. This has been an amazing month so far.
It has been. It absolutely has been.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for that Test Punch. This is something I was going to ask you. Because I'm fairly certain that I have seen 2-player local split-screen multiplayer in ARMS.
Yeah, they talked about it.
Did they talk about it in this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's because that's really important to me. I want to be able to play with somebody locally and not have to have 2 systems or whatever.
Yeah, no, you could play locally split screen, and you could also play with another system locally, and then have a lobby. A local lobby.
Yeah, I seen all that stuff. I got that, but I didn't remember seeing them talk about and you can play 2-player split screen. How do you get?
In fact, they even showed off 2-player split screen in the initial trailer of ARMS, and
right.
they showed it off in Switch commercials.
That's what I thought.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely in there.
Okay. So another one, the 4-player mode. How many switches would that? Could I do 2 switches for 4-player mode?
I'm pretty sure that's if you have the system docked, you could play 4 players on one screen. I'm pretty sure.
Really? Because then that would
Yeah.
be 4-player split screen, but I don't think we've seen a 4-player shot of the split screen, have
I'm honestly not sure, but I think that is a 4-player script. I don't know. It'd probably require 2 switches, if not, though.
we? Right.
I'd imagine it would be 2 switches. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was really just overall impressed by ARMS today. I think Nintendo did a great job showing that the game has a lot of content. I love some of the sillier modes. I like all the characters pretty much, even the ones that I'm not too keen on. I'm still like, yeah, whatever.
I like the 2-player basically has you tethered to your friend.
Yeah.
You're stuck. Like, if you get thrown, you get thrown with them.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Even like stuff like that, man. That's the type of stuff I want to see in Splatoon 2. Like, not literally that, but just like breaking the conventions of what you would naturally assume would be in the game. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna get a lot. It's not up yet, but I bet I'll get some nasty comments for my Splatoon 2 reaction.
Oh, did you do them separately? You didn't like put them in one?
Yeah, I'm doing them separate.
Oh, okay. That's why I put them in one. I didn't have to worry about that.
I tried to kind of throw some water on the fire as much as possible when I was like, it could be great, just not really excited just yet. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna definitely hear about Splatoon 2 at E3.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'll get like some big trailer, and it'll probably be like the big final trailer before launch.
And listeners, I found out yesterday Josh is actually not going to E3, so you can look forward to his live reactions during the show, the day of the show, from his comfy little house in Illinois.
This is true. Well, the reason is you get a lot more money when you're covering it from your house because you can do a lot more work. Like when we would get back from E3 at the end of the day, I was like dead tired. The last thing I'd want to do is sit and edit videos. And I mean, it's like, oh, I should go to hang out with my buddy Roger, but I'm going to hang out with my buddy Roger 3 weeks after E3.
Not even,
Florida.
like 2 weeks after.
Right, in Florida at Pandora. Hashtag Josh and Roger's Pandora Adventures.
Is that going to be the hashtag?
It's a little long for a hashtag. We'll have to get a better hashtag than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be covering a lot of E3 stuff here. I'm going to do some analysis videos, Roger. Have you ever seen anybody do analysis videos before on the internet? It's a new idea I've had.
No YouTube channel rings a bell. I don't know.
It's a new idea that I have, Roger.
And it's a brand new, just an idea you've had.
No
other successful channel has ever had. Just you.
Not that I've seen.
Oh my God.
Roger, I love you. Where can people find you?
You can find me at RogersBase on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram. I do videos about Nintendo and video games. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff for E3. I also do anime reviews, lots of anime reviews, because it's a pretty exciting season. And I have a secondary channel, Game and Vlog, where I upload vlogs from conventions and also weird little quirky gameplay videos and just goofy meme videos. I put one up yesterday about Zelda Mobile, so go check it out.
I saw that. Are you going to do any videos from the Florida trip on Game and Vlog or something?
Yes, they'll all be on there. Okay. Literally every single video that we record there will be on there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. This year, I'm demanding that you actually post the video of you meeting Elsa. We're going to meet Elsa again, and you're actually going to definitely post the video.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, well, if the Elsa's cuter than the Elsa we got, so.
There's only one Elsa. What are you talking about?
That's not. Well, that's right.
Can I just talk about how annoyed I am that you stole the idea of doing anime reviews from me when I used to do that a lot?
Because you're such a huge fan.
I used to have TheBitBlock originated as an anime review channel, and then you started doing it, and I was like, God, oh, jeez, Roger.
You were the WeBlock for a while, right? The WeBlock.
Yeah. It's a huge success, but then I just said, you know what? I'm done. Roger, thanks for talking about ARMS and Splatoon 2 with me. And as a disclaimer, I just want to say this: I'm very excited for ARMS, and I'm hopeful for Splatoon 2. We'll see what it's got hiding.
You guys heard it here first. Josh hates Splatoon 2.
I hate it, and anybody who likes it is wrong and just plain stupid, frankly.
You know who else is completely wrong and stupid?
Who?
And this is not a joke.
Okay.
Anyone who likes Star Fox Zero. Good night, everybody.
Oh, that's not a joke. That's the truth. The game's like 2 years old. We still can't stop.
Dude, it's just so bad.
It is. I can't fathom how anybody would like it. I can't.